Hi, I'm John, and this is Dice Paper Miniatures Live Clips. These are segments pulled from my Twitch live streams. This is a way for me to cross-promote both my YouTube recorded content as well as my Twitch live streams. The kind of content you'll see on the live clips focuses on, well, the material I have over on Twitch live stream, but in bite-sized segments. Everything from miniature painting to hobby reviews and discussions, unboxings, and various industry news. It would be awesome if you could click that subscribe and notification bell for future content updates, as well as share this content. All of this helps with the YouTube algorithm. In addition to helping the YouTube channel here, it also helps bring awareness to the Twitch livestream, which is typically at least once a week, if not multiple times a week. The schedule is a work in progress, so it definitely helps to follow me on Twitch so you don't miss any of those live streams there. But if you do, that's what the live clips are for here on YouTube. And lastly, before we get into the content here for the live clip, please consider checking out the merch store over on Teespring, where I have things like t-shirts, mugs, stickers, banners, and now face masks, which are perfect for respecting the space of your fellow gamers at your local game store. Furthermore, some of these live clips I do reserve for my Patreon page, which if you haven't checked that out, I definitely encourage you to check out the Patreon, as that is just another way to help support the channel, which helps creating the content that you see here. Thank you so much. Now here is today's live clip. Yeah, this is some of the new stuff that will be coming out here soon. New models. I'm gonna look at this. I wasn't planning on doing this tonight, but let's do that. I'm gonna kill the sound just because I got music playing in the background. I don't want to interrupt the video. So Adeptus Mechanicus. Oh, they got new orcs. Oh, wow. Looks like a new sister. I don't think that's from any existing sisters box set. That was cool. Okay. Interesting. So here's that new sister of battle, or Adeptus Serratus. The new battlefield. This is a Palatine. Okay. Yeah, it's funny, Kingfisher. So when Primaris came out, right? Everything was like grav technology, so everything floated around. And people were like, I just want some of the old school stuff. I want some of the aesthetic, more of the aesthetic of the old school stuff. And then they go from having everything grav technology, and then they came out with this new box set. And the new box set, the bikes, right off the bat. You would think the bikes would be like grav tech for the bikes. Nope, it's the old wheel tech. They swung the pendulum back really hard the other way, and then they came out with they got like a three-wheeler, the buggy thing, all wheeled stuff. So it's kind of weird that on one hand it's great. GW listened to their community and they kind of went back to some of the old tech to introduce into the Primaris. But yeah, we still have things just to kind of go back up. It's like they still had these things in the pipeline, so we got the grav tech still for these tanks. But it would have been cool to just put treads on them too. Or, heck, have other options. Have treads on these, and then also have grav tech on the new bikes and the new buggies. But, we've all seen the Mario Kart looking buggy. It's cool. I'm not complaining. It's funny how the design team, they'll go hard into one direction, and then the community's like, oh, but we want this other thing. Of course you do. And so then they swing it back, and they're like, oh, but that looks like it wouldn't even be practical, like the motorcycles not having any clearance. Yeah, for sure. I want to. Yeah, flamers are the way to go. I agree. So it looks like we don't get a close-up of the other ones. They really teased us on This is clearly like an Adeptus Mechanicus model. That looks like it might be the Drukhari or Dark Elf. Dark Eldar, I mean. The Drukhari or Drukhari, which I always thought that was funny. They called him Drukhari. This looks like, yeah, more Drukhari or Drukhari. Actually, this looks like, this has like a Fabius Bile. Oh yeah, this is Nurgle stuff, Death Guard stuff. So this is a new Death Guard sculpt here. This is a new Drukhari. This is a new Adeptus Mechanicus. And then this is clearly a new Orc. I'm not sure what flavor of Orc. Looks cool though. Yeah, if you want to post it for sure. I'm not sure how what my permissions per se are, but if you want to post it or post a link, I'll definitely go check it out. And if you're on Twitch as well and you got some content, I'll definitely follow you back. I appreciate it, man. This is pretty cool. I don't know if I'll, I might paint up my Necrons just to have, if I do like some solitaire games or solo games, just to have an army to play against, to like try out my Space Marine build, but we'll see. I may, if I really like Necrons, maybe I'll flesh out my army and buy some of this other stuff, but okay. Awesome, thanks, man. I'll check it out for sure. I'm such a noob when it comes to this still. Like, if you direct message me, I'll have to go look for it for sure. Thank you. But as I was saying, I tend to skew towards skirmish based. So like in the new 9th edition 40K, I'll probably play more patrol size stuff, more so than a full army. I say that now. If I find the issue I have with everything GW is like a lot of it, I like it all. I'm just a sucker for the models in particular, and especially if it's a model range that can be used for some of their other game systems. So like Kill Team I really like, but if they don't really support Kill Team too much, but I can use those models for patrol size skirmishes for 9th edition, cool, I'll play patrol, that's fine. And then same thing with like Warhammer Underworlds. It can be, some of those models can be used for Warcry, then in turn those Warcry models can be used for Age of Sigmar. I usually never go to like the big army stuff. I usually stay in that mid-range to skirmish scale. So yeah. But as I was saying, for tonight, I wanted to do the first impressions for the Indomitus box, which I did. And then I wanted to get caught up on the Warhammer Community stuff, which I have here. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do if I'll stream that Blood Bowl game tonight. In fact, I may save that for streaming tomorrow. It is getting kind of late here tonight. I've been streaming since 9:30 my time, and it's about 12:15 now. Hey, small soldier. How's it going? I'm wrapping up the stream for tonight, so I apologize. But so yeah, 3,000. Yeah, 3,000. That's a good size army. And salamanders, I do like, as far as chapters go. That's one of my favorite chapters as well. I like salamanders. I like space wolves. My first chapter I really played a lot when I was younger was Blood Angels, but I feel like Blood Angels and Space Wolves are kind of like the de facto army for a lot of new players. Thanks, man. But then like the next like generation of chapters I played, Salamanders and Crimson Fists were like the next round of chapters that I played. Sorry, small soldier, that I'll be wrapping up tonight. But this will, you can catch the recording for sure. But I think, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to come back and I'll be playing some Blood Bowl on Steam. If you haven't followed me, I've been painting a Chaos Pact, or basically the Chaos Renegade team for Blood Bowl the last couple weeks. They're the Willy Miniatures version of the Chaos Pact, or Chaos Renegades. And basically have that same team I've been painting built on the Steam version, so I'll be streaming that later tonight. Well, I was going to stream that later tonight. I'll be doing that later, probably tomorrow. Your first Warhammer in 10 years. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I originally got out around, it was, I think, officially 3rd edition is when I stopped, although I think I played a few games when 5th edition was out. And then I haven't really played 40K since then. I've played Kill Team, but not any Warhammer 40K stuff. So what's your army? What are you playing for your first in 10 years, Small Soldier? Orc Boys, right on. Did you see, speaking of Orc Boys, I probably closed that window now. Let's go back to articles. They did a sneak peek or sneak preview or spoiler, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it wasn't New Starter. It was this launch party preview. This was from July 25th, so it would have been like Friday. Maybe Saturday. Yeah, it must have been Saturday because it's technically now Tuesday my time. They had a video here. I'm gonna scroll down. These new models. And yeah, these looked really cool. I'll kill the sound here. So there's a preview. Here's the Orc. It looks... The sculpt looks promising. Of course, they just tease it, so you don't get to see the whole thing. But, yeah, it looks awesome. And they need some new Orc sculpts. They came out... It was... I mean... There's a difference of opinion on this. They had that new box set, right, where it had the Space Wolves and the Orcs. And Ghazghkull... It was a new sculpt, whether, you know, love it, hate it, whatever. It was a new sculpt, but like everything else in that box set were old Orcs. So they really need, in my opinion, some new Orcs. So I'm super excited if they do that because I do like Orcs. Earlier, if you play Warhammer Underworlds, which, oh, I don't have that open now, but they have new Orcs for that game. So I really like how Orcs play in Warhammer Underworlds. So, yeah. I'm excited for my bomb. Yeah, for real. Yeah, Orcs are they're just fun to play. When I played back in 3rd edition, I played mostly Space Marines and Orcs. Those were like the two armies I played the most. My friends, on the other hand, it seemed like everyone loved to play Eldar. So I either played against Eldar a lot or I played against Orcs a lot. And I typically played Space Marines, and my like alt army was Space Orcs or Orcs. But I sold most of that stuff years ago, and now I'm kind of buying back into it and justifying it by doing content like this. So yeah, it's really funny. I mean, I guess I get the business model. You know, they were doing a number of new Space Marine sculpts, and then they went ahead and did Primaris, while they still had old stuff from years ago that they hadn't addressed yet, and Space Orcs were one of them. I feel like Eldar 2 haven't been done in a long time. Although they did have, I guess they did have a new box set of Eldar. I just don't recall if the Eldar and the Drukhari box set they did, I guess it would have been late last year, if those were all new sculpts or just some new sculpts. I'd have to go back and look again. Yeah, that's too bad. That was probably my first chapter was Blood Angels. I was saying it was Blood Angels, and then what was it? Space Wolves, and then after that I did like Salamanders and Crimson Fist. But yeah, that's too bad. Like Blood Angels, I mean, honestly, Space Marines in general, especially if they're mostly armored and with a helmet. I mean, you can cheat code those a lot. Just get like 2 colors of spray paint, do like dark red as the base coat, just hit from above with a light red, and you're like 90% done. Do the eyes, hit some details, maybe gold or yellow for some of the detail work, or like the symbol on the shoulder, or even have decals or decals if you're in another part of the world. Put those on the shoulders and you're done. Yeah, so it used to be you go to eBay and you could get painted models back in the day when they were metal. It was great. You could just strip them down, repaint them, and you got them cheap. It's really tricky to strip plastic, in my opinion. It can be done, but it just seems like it's not as easy. And definitely if they use like plastic glue, they'll probably stay together okay because it fused that plastic. But then the flip side of that is if they use plastic glue and they're messy, the models, like, you got like distortions and weird globs where it melted the plastic. So it's kind of hit or miss. For back in the day when it was metal, you could throw them in some simple green or some other cleaner, or throw them in like a sonic cleaner if you had that, and not really worry about it too much, and it would just like blow off all the paint. And if they came unglued, who cared? You pin them back together or just glue them back together, not a big deal. Yeah, it's... That all being said, at least there's some options with plastic, I feel. Not as much as with metal, but man, when they did fine cast, that was honestly what kind of, like a lot of players, when, you know, it is what it is, but when fine cast came out, that's when I stopped playing. Coincidence, maybe, but yeah, fine cast was a mess. But as I was saying, for those guys that just joined me tonight, thanks so much, especially the new followers. I really appreciate that. I'm still a really new channel. But I do this content here on Twitch. I'll break it up into what I call live clips to post to YouTube. So if for some reason this content falls off the Twitch recorded content and you still want to go back and see some of these episodes, you can see that on my YouTube channel. And then, yeah, I do unique YouTube recorded content too. It tends to hover around Games Workshop products, but I'm into Mantic, Vanguard. Not so much, not so much Kings of War, because again, I tend to go towards skirmish scale. Since I kind of go wide in my games that I play, I can't go real deep. So my armies are never really large scale army stuff. It's skirmish scale stuff. So I'll do Vanguard. I have I'm looking over at my shelf. That's, yeah, pretty much all the flavors of GW, Vanguard, and then I used to do Guild Ball, and I may do some painted Guild Ball content from Steamforged, but no one locally does Guild Ball anymore, so it's hard for me to get motivated to do Guild Ball. And then I've really, because how can you not like paint Hot Wheel cars, but I got really into Gasland, so I believe it was on my second YouTube video, like the top 10 games that got me back into the hobby. And so I kind of outlined all the games that kind of got me back in, and then to keep me going, to justify doing all these games. That's why I'm doing content now. Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, I just started, and the problem I think I have with streaming as well as my recorded content, I really need to lock in a schedule. I ideally wanted to do 3 to 4 nights a week, and ideally, actually, my time is Central Standard Time. I'm here in the U.S. and the middle of the country, so ideally, I would be streaming from like 2 in the afternoon to 5 in the afternoon, or evening, take your pick. But it ends up being I don't usually get a chance to stream until like 8 or 9 o'clock my time, until like midnight. So locally, a lot of my friends, they never get a chance to really catch these streams. They usually catch my recorded clips or recorded content later. But I need to get a schedule set up. Yeah, it's hard to stick to it for sure, because my day job, I mean, it'd be nice that this would be my full-time gig, but it's not going to happen for at least a year or longer. But and even then, it wouldn't just be my full-time thing. It would just be something I put more attention to. But I'm a freelance designer, creative director, art director guy, so I have a lot of like contract work I have to do during the day, and which is great. It is what it is. And I don't want to not do that, but it's with the pandemic going on, I'm doing a lot more, surprisingly more work, digital work, and then I'm required to do a lot more meetings online and whatnot. So by the time I get a chance to take a break, get some food, then the day is gone, and so I'm kind of stuck at night. So I'll figure it out, but I appreciate the kind words for sure. I put a lot of time to try to get everything looking and sounding well. Maybe too much time. There's an argument out there that says just make content and polish it as you go. But I'm kind of OCD about production, so I put a lot of my time up front to make things look and sound good. Hopefully they do. And yeah, I'll be making more content in the future for sure.